ANC presidential hopeful Mathews Phosa has abandoned his bid to have the Johannesburg High Court to hear the urgent application around alleged irregularities in the nominations process in Mpumalanga. Scenes of jubilation were witnessed outside the North Gauteng High Court in Pretoria, where the urgency of a plea by Phosa against the unity votes in Mpumalanga PGC was struck off by the judge. The respondent and the applicant have now decided to settle the dispute internally through negotiations.
Yeah, it is not exciting because in the first place we're not supposed to be here. We were supposed to give our people services, but we are here today. It is not interesting when members of the ANC, they will go to court when we have got problems that are affecting the organization. We are expecting all our members to use ANC internal processes to deal with our problems. We are happy that the judge indicated in the courtroom that they expect members of the ANC to deal with their intra-problems internal. So we are happy. We hope that it's a lesson that our members will always use internal processes of the ANC to deal with problems rather than running to our courts.
The movement is under siege from people who took us to court like Mathews Phosa. So the call from Mpumalanga is to unite the African National Congress, to rise above pettiness. Unity is the rock at which the African National Congress was formed upon. Therefore, there is no person who's going to dispute that the ANC must unite. When the ANC feels that it's weak, it must unite. The ANC must regroup and unite so that it faces the elections come 2019.
Well, it's disturbing, it's traumatizing. Actually, it's a waste of time. And it's the waste of the state resources. That's how it is. Because if it was factual, you don't withdraw at the late eve. You see, so that is the waste of time. For us as members of the ANC, Comrade Phosa is just a disgrace. It's a disappointment. We apologize to the nation to produce such a product as an ANC.
In any other house, there are always problems. The ANC and its alliance are not immune to that. We've had challenges with the SACP in the province, but we've since dealt with our differences. From a provincial lekgotla that was held between the two organizations, the SACP and the ANC. And we have been clear on what we want as an alliance in the province. We have since ironed out all our differences and made sure that the alliance of the organization comes first, beyond our individual interests and material gains.
We're at the Johannesburg High Court where the matter between Mathews Phosa versus the ANC-NEC versus the ANC Mpumalanga province as well as D.D. Mabuza has been decided. We heard that the applicant sat down with the respondents and they came to a solution that the first matter, the urgent matter, will be resolved internally in the African National Congress.
I suppose it simply tells us that there is a way to resolve problems internally, and both factions will begin then the process of ensuring that whatever problem they experience, they can always resolve such internally rather than seeking court intervention as and when such problems occur. There is a hanging confusion around the issue of unity. I think that confusion must be resolved as soon as possible. Surely delegates will be looking forward to put a vote behind a human being. So that confusion, I suppose, must be resolved as soon as possible.
Mathews Phosa's core challenge against the ANC processes has exposed a new trend of leaders putting the party in the dark. This is against the backdrop of a call for issues to be resolved internally. Phosa supporters claim to have a backing of Cyril Ramaphosa's camp in the bid to nullify the outcomes of the Mpumalanga Provincial General Council. Phosa sought to have the Mpumalanga unity nomination set aside. The province's stance left Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma edging slightly over Ramaphosa. Phosa argued that the nominations were against ANC rules, which dictate that members must specify the name and surname of the nominated candidate. Meanwhile, the series of court cases against ANC processes raised questions about which faction stands to benefit from the process in the hotly contested race.
The issues around the courts is within people's rights to be able to go through the courts, but as we have said here earlier on is that they are internal processes. And the ANC encourages its members to actually exhaust the internal processes that are there. so that ultimately by the time they go to court, the ANC has been afforded an opportunity. But it's within a democratic and a constitutional democracy that people at one point, they will do these particular issues.
We have noted what we call a lawfare, where courts are beginning to direct us on some of the issues that we ourselves, we've got executive powers in terms of executive function. To what an extent in terms of our political leadership, are we allowing a space for the courts to give us direction is a matter that we must continue to engage so that we do not allow where we are able to take decisions that we constitutionally we must take. We don't allow courts to interfere in our space, because at the end we'll accuse courts of court overreach or judicial overreach. But there are times where we think that there are instances, one or two, we think generally that there is a judicial overreach. On those instances, we do speak out clearly about them.
ANC Eastern Cape members are set to approach the Constitutional Court to appeal a High Court judgment. This is after Grahamstown High Court today dismissed with cost an application to nullify the ANC Eastern Cape Elective Conference. A group aligned to ousted chairperson Phumulo Masualle brought the case, claiming that there were irregularities during the elective process. The conference named Oscar Mabuyane as the new ANC provincial chair. At least 8 delegates were injured after violence erupted during the proceedings in October.
No, we are happy about the ruling. Of course, we expected it. We are happy for the people of Eastern Cape. We have been getting messages of support from all sectors of the society, traditional leaders, churches, business people, because they wanted a stability in Eastern Cape. And unfortunately, the confirmation by the court confirms our long view that these are only shenanigans to derail the ANC from executing its historical mandate of transforming the society, of holding the people that are deployed to the state and other institutions accountable about their activities on a daily basis. So I'm happy about the outcome of the court, not only for ourselves, for the entire population of this country.
Now let's just take a look at how this impacts on Cyril Ramaphosa's campaign. The Eastern Cape PEC under the chair Oscar Mabuyane endorsed Ramaphosa for president of the ANC. Coupled with this is the fact that the Eastern Cape will be sending the third biggest delegation to ANC's National Elective Conference.